Okay, so hello, this is my first video. I'm making a series of videos to share my experience through coming through severe cocaine addiction, having bipolar type 2 and ADHD. You know, they kind of feed into each other. If you have ADHD, you are attracted to stimulants because they help you concentrate. So when I took cocaine, I would sit at home and I wouldn't go out and party and socialize. I'd sit at home on my own and make music. I'd find that I would be able to focus on playing the guitar, using my loop station. I'd freestyle, I'd write lyrics, I'd sing. I'd just stay up all night, and I did have a great time. I did have some great times on it, but it got to the point where, I couldn't be without it. I'd get anxious if I didn't have it on me. I was spending all my money on it. I was doing it with my daughter in the next room, hanging out with dealers, doing things I shouldn't do, having no self-worth. My health took a toll. I was really skinny. I lost weight. I wasn't eating. And then, unfortunately, it got to the point where I actually overdosed and had a seizure in my mate's bathroom while my daughter was asleep in the other room. I had a fit. My head was banging against the door. I passed out, woke up on the bathroom floor, and apparently 70% of people that happens to actually die. So if you're going to take drugs and cocaine, don't mix cocaine with opiates like codeine and alcohol, because the cocaine speeds up your heart, the codeine slows down your heart, and that stops the blood going to your brain, and it can lead to seizure and eventually death. So it's all about damage prevention. Please, guys, if you're going to do drugs, do your research. For some people, taking drugs recreationally, they have a great time. They can do it at the weekends and they can stop. But for some people, like me, and a lot of people I know, because I'm from Coventry, it's very prevalent here. I know it is in London, I know it is in a lot of towns in the UK. It's quite an epidemic, and I think deep down, do you really want that lifestyle? When you think about the come downs, when you think about the money you spend, the families that are getting ruined. I had social services involved. My daughter is now under the custody of my dad. She had to separate herself from me because I was the toxic person. I was the chaos. I didn't know it. I had no awareness. I was in denial. And that's what drugs do. I had no self-worth. I wasn't dressing nice. I wasn't spending money on things. I wasn't spending money on my daughter. I was, sometimes there's no food in the fridge, because I just wasn't eating. I thought I needed it to do my housework. I thought I needed it to wake up. I'd have a line with my breakfast. It's just crazy. I actually drove a dealer around. I was doing risky things, doing drops to get paid in coke. All sorts. And it's just a slippery slope, and I haven't gone that far as I could down the the path that it takes you. I've done certain things that some people might regret, but I own it now. You have to own your story. Don't be ashamed of your past. You learn from it, and I have, and I think being an addict gives you a lot of transferable skills. So now I'm resourceful. I can hustle. You know, I'm good with people, you know. I've learned a lot about myself, that I took drugs because of my anxiety and because of my ADHD. You know, I don't like going to pubs sober. I find them horrible places to be honest. So I'd get off my tits just to handle it. You know, just standing talking to drunk people that are in the pub all the time. Like, you know, when you look at these people that are just there week in, week out, like the old men who sit in Wetherspoons, you just think, you know, it's a sad life. You know, I was just taking coke on my own and staying in my room and, you know, playing Scrabble on my phone, or fucking, because of my ADHD, I'd read books and, you know, I don't know, it's meant to be a party drug. But anyway, I'm rambling. But how did I get off? Right, okay, so first of all, I started going to NA, Narcotics Anonymous, which is on every night of the week. You can find the meetings online, and you turn up, and if you're a newcomer, you're the most important person in the room. Everyone will look after you. The recommendation is the women stick with the women, men stick with the men. And I didn't do that. I ended up getting in a relationship with someone from NA, which was a bad idea, because when he relapsed, I relapsed. When I relapsed, he relapsed. And you know, at the end of the day, if you're in NA, you've got a lot of issues to work through. Don't like to use the word broken people, but you know, we're all fucking nuts in NA. Everyone's nuts, and you know, you don't really want to get in a relationship with someone that's got a lot of work to do on themselves, because you're there for you and you only. So NA is a spiritual program. It's not religious based, but it is based on spiritual principles, which I'm open to, so that's good. I believe in a higher power, I believe in energy, and you know, I recommend it. You do 12 steps and you work through a lot of stuff to raise your awareness. It's kind of CBT based. If you want to go more down the scientific route, you know, with psychology and the effects of addiction on the brain and the body, I recommend going to CGL if you're from Coventry. I know they have CGLs in a lot of places, but drug recovery partnerships that are more based on smart recovery. You know, they do groups, creative groups. A lot of the benefit is meeting other addicts and realizing you're not alone. You're not the only person. There's all addicts from all walks of life, from the alcoholic on the bench on the street to, you know, a high-flying businessman, you know, grandmas, young women. You know, it can get anyone. No one is immune to addiction, but you know, there is a solution if you want it hard enough. You have to be ready. You only reach rock bottom when you stop digging, and you know, just put down the shovel, and you know, find your way. You know, deep down, you know, if you listen to your instincts, you listen to your gut, you know what's right and wrong. You know, some people are just happy in the chaos, and that's fine, but I just got to a point where I had enough, and my daughter had enough, and I had to break the cycle somehow. So I started NA, which got me through the first 3 months, and I stopped going after the relationship breakdown, because, you know, it's kind of awkward and I feel okay not going. But I have a good support network. CGL, I have a dual diagnosis worker from there who is trained in mental health conditions and addiction, because they often tie over together. So, and her name is Ellie, and she is amazing. She's so inspiring. And CGL have agreed to fund me to go to rehab at the Back O'Connor Centre in Burton-on-Trent. And I'm so grateful for that. It's, you know, it's about £15,000 I've invested, because they see something in me. And, you know, when you're true to yourself and other people around you support you. You know, once you start making changes, you'll be amazed at the response that you get and how different you can feel. You know, there's a whole life out there to live without drugs, and you know, apart from the drugs, I'm talking about mental health as well. I got on the right medication for the bipolar, which has leveled me out, because I had a manic episode last August which led to an overdose when I crashed. So I'm on the right meds for that, because if you have bipolar and you have too much of a high dose of antidepressants, it can cause mania. I was so good at mania that I convinced everyone around me that everything was good as well. I said to my daughter, I feel like we're on an aeroplane, can you feel it, we're taking off? And she was like, yeah. You know, you just think everything's gonna be great forever and everything's always gonna be great. And you know, in my head I had a small gig, and it was only a small little gig, and in my head there was gonna be paparazzi there, and you know, I was gonna get famous, and like my fucking brain is just mad, and it's not reality. So you know, now I'm clean, I'm very aware to stay grounded, because feeling good to me, feeling normal level, what most people feel every day, feels high to me, because I'm so used to feeling depressed and low. So I have to really check in with people around me to see what they think and monitor how I am. So the bipolar meds are good. ADHD meds are lisdexamfetamine, which is, you know, kind of like a speed. So when I was self-medicating with the cocaine to help me concentrate on my music, now I'm on the ADHD meds, I don't need to self-medicate. So I recommend, if anyone thinks that they're struggling with symptoms of certain mental health conditions, definitely go to your local mental health team and have an assessment. You don't always need medication. Some people are open to medication, some people prefer to do it naturally. You know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It all depends down to you and your personal preference. I highly recommend exercise and the right diet, because your gut is your second brain, and you know, whatever you feed your body it determines how you feel on a daily basis. People really underestimate the importance of daily maintenance for your body. We are animals, we are supposed to be active. We aren't supposed to eat you know, all day every day, snacking and stuff like that. I've actually started a diet called the OMAD diet, 1 meal a day, where I fast 23 hours and I eat for 1 hour, and I've lost quite a lot of weight in the past 2 weeks. A lot of it's water weight. I'll post a picture with the video, but yeah, you don't know what I looked like before, but I've started to get a few curves and stuff like that, which I'm really happy with. And you know, I am finally happy in myself. You know, I'm owning my story. I'm no longer ashamed of my past. You know, I'm so overwhelmed with the support that I'm getting and the responses I'm getting from people already today. My friend Andy is a human performance coach. He's really played a massive role in my progress for the past few months. Yeah, he's part of the Renegade Revolution, so I'm a renegade. And you know, if anyone's struggling and you just need someone to talk to and you just need a chat, you know where I am. My inbox is always open, and I hope this video has helped a little bit. I'm gonna keep going with the tips and tricks. I'm gonna, you know, drip feed them as I go, because I'm learning as I go. I'm learning a lot every day. Got loads more to tell you, but this video is getting on, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and love you and leave you.